Are you awake? What is your soul's calling? What is real? What is now? Only when we are fully awake can we begin to separate the past from our potential. Awareness is the key, and Dr. Guldal Caba's interpathic process creates this awareness.
Doctors have come from distant cities just to see me.
All right, everybody, welcome to Are You Awake? With myself, Dr. Guldal Caba, and my producer, David Trudrung. How are you, David?
I'm doing great. This is so much fun to connect with you again and with our audience. I'm so glad to be here.
I know. It's been a while since we put a new show out there. People have been emailing like crazy, so I'm very excited to get this to happen today. David, we have such a great show. I couldn't be happier. Chief Cloudpiler is here. He is I want to say this correctly. His full name is Philip Cloudpiler Landis, the elected principal medicine chief of the Neemanha indigenous people. So he is gracing our show, Are You Awake, today, to talk about who he is and the organization and do some prayers and mantras, and we have some original music. It is going to be such a unique show today. We have not done a show like this. I'm very, very excited.
I've just been looking forward to this ever since we got it planned, and I understand that you just got back from a very special
the Great Council, I know. What do you call it?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a medicine woman with the Neemanha, and we had our Great Council last weekend in Missouri. I drove from Ohio to Missouri. It was just wonderful through the night, and we got there sometime, gosh, I can't remember, like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. It was a good 13, 14-hour drive, and we sweat lodged and danced and chanted and talked about the Constitution, and I learned so much. Chief Cloudpiler is an amazing person, and I want to get going with the show, so I'm going to talk a little bit about who he is before we introduce him. And David, it's good to hear your voice again.
Oh, likewise. I'm so glad to be here with you.
Yes, me too. So Chief Cloudpiler is a National Board certified naturopath, and he was brought up on charges for practicing illegally, and he was sent to jail. This and many other experiences brought him to his dharma, his calling that we talk so much about on this show. And what he's been doing, his calling, is to bring him back to his ancestry, to his Native American roots, and he wanted to restore the sacred in healing. And he's doing this on so many levels. Isn't that beautiful, restoring the sacred in healing? Something we talk about here all the time. The interpathic process. And this show, Are You Awake, is all about finding the sacred within, healing the soul, finding the call of your soul. But understanding that we do so much of that with science and spirit and East and West and just all of the things on that intuitive spiritual level, all the things that Energy Talk Radio is about. And here is this person, this great person, who's doing this all on his own. So, he reminds us of that. He reminds us of the call of the soul and how to find your inner wisdom. And he's been doing this on his own. He's a single man, a great leader, who listened to his call. And next thing you know, he's living in Missouri and he's doing all of this wonderful healing for people. He's put together a curriculum, a lifelong study for people that want to be healers or are healers. I tell you what, I have a master's in education. I've worked in universities. I've taught in universities. I've written curriculums. I have yet to see one written by one person, not a committee, that is so precise, so in-depth, and so beautifully written. It teaches so well, and he's done this by himself, single-handedly. And now I understand he's bringing back the native tongue. David, can you imagine? He's writing a dictionary of the first level of the language. I think he told me 2,000 words.
Oh, thank God. I'm so glad we're not going to lose that beautiful language.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And at the end of the show, at the very end of the show, so listeners stay tuned to this, because you know how at the end of our show we always leave the listeners, our audience, with a healing, which we get so many emails. Thank you so much, listeners, for that. So many emails about how you take the healing with you to bed or to the gym or wherever to practice the mantras, practice the meditation, to do healing, to release some things from yourself. Chief Cloudpiler has agreed to do a healing, an ancient healing for us today. So if you have any questions and you want to find out more about what we're doing, our new website is interpathicprocess.com, and you can find the link to Chief Cloudpiler. So it's neemanha.org, NEMENHAH.org. If you want to find out more about Chief Cloudpiler, you can just go to our website, interpathicprocess.com.
Thank you for joining Dr. Guldal Caba in answering the question, Are you awake? Awakening the awareness that leads to joy, contentment, and passion with Dr. Guldal Caba. To listen to the rest of this interview, please visit energytalkradio.com.